if you're watching this on a Sunday or Monday, whatever day you're watching this. We sharing this live from Pretoria, Capital View. Am I right? Is it Capital View?
Now you're telling people where I stay. It's okay, no problem. I live in a gated estate, guys. You can't just get in. You need like a person special to get
Yeah,
in. Personal special.
Yeah, it's quite a process to break into here. So yeah, welcome guys. We'd like to thank you for watching the previous one, the other one, of course. And we're looking forward to engage and communicate and receive feedback from you guys. I'm pretty much sure today we're having one of the interesting, triggering, other people may say, topics. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. How are you?
Hi guys, from my side, how have you been? It's been a minute, right? I've been good, I won't lie. As much as I'm emotionally and mentally exhausted, I've been trying to take it one day at a time. I won't lie.
Yes.
But I've been trying to use sleep as my coping mechanism instead of using substance. Substance, I'm talking about things like alcohol, drugs, and all those.
Caffeine.
Caffeine, energy drinks, and stuff like that. I'm trying to stay away from substance at the moment. As you can see today, guys, no alcohol, we're drinking water.
So
We're trying to stay away from substance as much as we can because we can't always use things like alcohol as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But we've got exciting stuff, right? Look at we've been doing this thing for a couple of weeks now, but I think we're progressing. We currently shooting this thing with my iPhone, and initially we're using the iPhone, only the iPhone as a
And the sound as well.
Exactly. So now we recently got some smaller equipment. You see, we are
Yeah.
slowly growing, guys. So if
Yeah.
you subscribe and like and share, we're gonna grow bigger than this. We're gonna end up being like one of the bigger podcasts.
I was
But-
so sorry. I was so motivated when you sent me this. I was so happy.
You know what was going through my mind when I bought this?
Mhm.
There's this other sound that McG has, and then he was doing that pum 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 sound, right?
Yeah.
Though this doesn't have yet.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing. He was interviewing Chili M at the time, and then he did them pum pum pum, and then Chili M dropped another point. Ne? It was like, drop that fucking thing of yours, and then McG recorded that bit, and then whenever Saul drops a pan,
he
like
plays
drop that
it,
fucking
yeah.
thing of yours. So yeah, guys, we're not trying to be like McG or anything.
Yeah.
We're doing our very own thing, very unique, different, completely. So please, we're not trying to be McG's copycats and stuff like that. We're doing our very own unique kind of like podcast, which is just talks about life in general, and very very touching topics, I must say. But over to you in terms of like what we're really talking about today. I think I'm looking forward to that.
So today, I guess the topics that we're gonna have, since they are promptu, they're just gonna diverse from one to another, and like that. So, but the initial one has to be, the black text concept in the African community, right? So yeah, that's where we're gonna start from. But before that, I have some ice breaking questions for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We have icebreakers now, guys. You see, we're growing.
Yeah, taking notes from there.
Yeah.
So the first one is, what's the weirdest fact that ever happened about you? A fact that ever happened to you or about you?
Fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something that happened then made you realize a fact about you till today. What is that?
Okay, I think this one's a quite simple one. Quite a simple one, guys. My English goes on holiday on weekends. We shoot this thing on the Sunday, by the way, and then we'll upload on a Friday, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because that's our downtime, right? In 2021, this, as you know, I became a dad for the very first time.
Yes.
That was a very, very weird experience. At the very same time, exciting and very scary. But it turned out to be very, very a worthy experience, because now there's nothing that I can be without being a dad. I mean, being a dad is the first thing that I am now. Before I have a job, before I have a wife and
Yes.
everything, I'm Lulu's dad, first of all. So I think being a dad really gave me a brand new perspective of life, and that's definitely a fact that I can actually run away from.
Mm, beautiful. That's nice. So, second one, if would you choose to either be given $100 million or go back in time and be 15 years younger and know everything that you know now?
Money. I'll choose money. With money, I can literally do anything. Whatever I didn't know back then, fuck it. Money. Guys, give me money.
Money.
Yeah.
It's interesting how you didn't even think about that.
No.
Just
I'll
money.
never compare money to anything. Yeah. I'll never compare money
Money
to
is the thing. Money is the thing. So another one. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
That's a tough one. But I would say that do what makes you happy. I mean, you matter. And then at the end of the day, before you fall asleep, when you lie on that pillow, it's just you and your emotions. Do what makes you happy. And then this will probably surprise a lot of people, because now I think things like social media have really taken over our lives. Now we live for people, not who we really are. Another thing that matters is that when no one is watching, who are you, or who are you offline? The moment you log out of the social media space, who are you? I mean, wasn't these so without people watching? Wasn't these so when Instagram, if they were to shut down Instagram tomorrow, wasn't these at that time? You understand?
Yeah.
I feel like just do what makes you happy, man. One thing about me, I don't give a fuck, guys. Hate me, love me, I do what I love.
Yeah.
If you think I drink a lot, good for you, but it makes me happy. If you think I like flashing, doesn't matter. But all I'm saying is that your happiness really matters a lot. Outside your mother, your father, your partner, but you need to be happy at least before you make other people happy. Because I think it's practically impossible to make someone else happy when you're not happy. You can't feed from an empty cup.
It's really draining.
Yeah.
Really, really draining. So picking up from something that you said, how do you think the society or the world at large would be if maybe for, let's say, for 6 months, all social media platforms were shut down? What do you think communities would look like, or would be, basically?
That's a trick one, because you must remember now that social media is not just for socializing anymore. People actually make a living off social media. We're also using a social media platform, which is YouTube. I consider it as social media to share our content.
Yeah, it is, yes.
We've got influencers, we've got people that actually do a lot of work on the social media platforms. I think it would kill a lot of people, but speaking on the general term, I think people will be depressed somehow, because I mean, we're now it's like, I think we've got two lives now. We've got the online life and the offline life. So now people are gonna be kind of like depressed. Like during COVID, imagine like when we had those lockdowns, if there was no Facebook, WhatsApp, and stuff like that, people would go crazy, because you are now locked down in the house, not doing much. I mean, you can bake and cook. I mean, how many times are gonna bake and cook? That shit gets boring after some time. So I feel like social media is, for some people, it's actually therapy. Like with me, my WhatsApp is my therapy, because when I share a status, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
If it offends you, fuck off. But it's my form of therapy, and I'm not saying I do it for the people, but for me, even if no one views my status, but the fact that I shared it,
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
one thing about me, even my little sister always says this about me. I'll share my status, nah? And then you'll put yours, I'll view it once. Before my status expires in 24 hours, I view it like 150 times. Like, I'll literally go on my bed.
Your own one.
Yeah, like 150 times. I don't get bored. Got like, I'm like, is this me? Nah, man. Like, that's how much I love myself. Or how much confidence I have in the stuff that I really like. You know, like, I consume a lot of like funny stuff, like comedy and all of that. But I feel like social media, guys, is necessary. What is not necessary is the usage of social media, how you use it. Yeah,
and
you can't be
you
posting bumps
for.
on Instagram every day. We get bored of those bumps. Yeah, like,
And
tone it down.
nowadays it's like bumps everywhere.
No, we get tired of bumps, guys. I mean, tone it down a bit. I mean, we like your bumps. Yes, you're cute, you're sexy, but tone it down on the bumps, right?
Guys have this tendency of on Twitter, no, it's X actually. On X nowadays, you know what they do? Let's say on a Friday or Thursday, they be like, hey ladies, it's a for example, it's a Thursday, thick thighs.
Oh, I know the Titties Tuesday. Yeah, where you post like boobs on a Tuesday.
What?
Yeah, I know Titties Tuesday on Chris Excel and
Hey,
Man Not Berry Roo and
hey.
all those guys. So, but yeah, man, I feel like social media is necessary, but the way people are using it's like Twitter and Black Twitter. I mean, Twitter is a good platform, but some people abuse it to to attack others and actually violate their rights and all of that. It's actually not a good thing. But what can you say? I don't
Yeah,
know.
what can we say?
Yeah.
What can we say? So, what have you got to say about black text in our community?
What is black tax? If we can start there, because I don't believe in that. Okay, I know where you're going, but tell me
Or,
in your words, what is black tax?
well, I think from my own view, I think black text is some sort of obligation that the African kids, or not kids per se, but we African people has given a name to say when someone works, or when you finally stable, you get to give back to your family or relatives or something like that.
Is it a must?
Not necessarily, but it's a bad thing because many families have expectations from their kids, and that I think that is exactly what leads to black tax. Because why? They've got expectations. So if their kids or children gets to work, now they expect them to give back or help them financially.
But okay, this is how I look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a giving heart. Sorry,
Yes.
I hardly ever receive anything from anybody. Like on my birthday, for example, I hardly ever receive any gift or anything. The only thing I receive mostly is like tons of messages, boring bunch of messages. Da da da, fuck
Yeah.
off. So, but on a serious note, it's not a bad thing to give back to family,
Mm.
but when you can afford to. It gets bad when now it's imposed on you to give when you actually can afford to. Say now, things are expensive now, guys. When someone used to earn 10,000 10 years ago, it was a lot. You could buy a lot with 10,000. Now with 10,000, you can't even afford like a simple flat
Mm.
and buy yourself groceries. I mean, with 10,000, you need to rent a back room. That's not money right now.
Definitely.
So you need to manage the expectations with the family, whether it's your mom, your dad, your sisters, and all of that. Like, guys, this well, you don't have to tell them necessarily how much you're making or earning, but you need to set an expectation to say, I also have my own things. I'm not being selfish, but I need to take care of myself first. Say now you give mommy 2,000 rand, but you're left with nothing. Now you go to friends borrowing money. What is the point then? What is the
Clearly,
point?
there's no point, because the thing is also, I think it also goes back to how a person was brought up.
Hmm.
Some other people have that guilty conscience to say, maybe my mother or my dad had a hard time bringing me up, therefore I owe them something.
Understood, but guys, I think we, as black people, we've really normalized this thing, right? I don't even like it calling it black tax. It's helping out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, who dictates how much you need to give them? Say I earn 10,000 rand. Does mommy say out of the 10,000 that you're earning, give me 1,000 rand every month? Like, who dictates how much you need to give them? Is it you or it's the receiver that dictates? Because you must remember, you also have a right as a giver to say, guys, this is how much I can afford. And as a giver, I always say, guys, you must have your boundaries as
Yes,
a
true.
giver because takers don't have any.
Mm.
As a giver, you must have your boundaries. It's not being rude or anything, guys. I mean, some people will say, just because you're working now, you're being rude. Before you're working, you're humble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Guys, things are tough. Times are tough. Like, the economy is just crumbling, especially in SA. Like,
I also saw this one article, I think last month.
mm,
So basically, what they were saying is an individual has to be earning around about 9,000 in order to have a sustainable life going on.
no, you read that wrong, actually.
Is it?
they were saying middle class households in SA, the way things have gone bad between the past year or the past 2 years, each and every middle class household has to make 9,000 rand more than what they were making a year ago to stay afloat. So if you're making 20,000 as a household, you need to make 29,000 now to survive.
So what they were saying, like you have to make that amount more.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, because things have gone up that high.
That's
crazy. I remember, I'll tell you this for free. When I started working prop back in 2013, that's like 10 years ago, I used to buy like 1,000 rand worth of groceries, but now the amount of groceries that I would buy, it's even scary. Like,
it's a lot.
Yeah, it gets a lot. So it's not even about my experience, this one, but it's general, open to the public. You guys are open to comment on the comment section. Let us know what you think of this. I think we're going to also introduce a WhatsApp line in our next episode whereby you guys can engage with us offline when we're not on the podcast, just to throw in some ideas. We decide most of the ideas between the two of us, which we think are gonna be exciting to the audience. But you guys are more than welcome to drop us any messages and let us know what you would like us to talk about next time.
That's interesting.
But in your case, okay, another thing, guys. That's why I'm saying I don't believe in black tax. Is that I think this term was given to us by the white people to say that when you're black, when your mother asks you for money, she's taxing you.
She's taxing you.
It's not taxing, but even parents or siblings or cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever, they must know their limits, guys. You can't be asking for the impossible from somebody. And the fact that, let's say now, you used to do something for the family, and then this is what actually starts most of the fights. As a guy, right? I used to give my mother, say, X amount. Now I get married, and then I cut that amount maybe into half, and then now she's gonna hate my wife and be like, oh, since you married that bitch, you're giving me less money now. That bitch is the one that's influencing me. You understand what the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law fights
starts, yeah.
Especially if you're a breadwinner at home, they will hate your wife, right? I'm just saying.
Actually, that takes me back to a tweet that I saw. So from Twitter, Men's Not Berry Rooks posted that how has black tax affected your life? So this is 2 days ago, by the way. So Dope Kick says there's no such thing as black tax. Each and every family, there's always that one person. Ekutiwa ngumlunywa. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not closer, but I would say like the main person.
Yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I could be wrong, but I'm just presuming.
Someone who knows closer can go ahead.
Yeah.
Ekutiwa ngumlunywa, who is financially fit more than anyone.
Coming to that, more than anyone, we might not be at the same level financially, but there's no harm in all of us helping. Let's say now, for example, we're doing my father's unveiling or whatever, father's ceremony, and then there's a cow that's going for 10,000. Just because I'm the one who's earning high doesn't mean I must buy that cow on my own. We can all, maybe I can cough out maybe 5k, the other two cough out 2.5. We should collaborate on this thing. Yeah. And if maybe we're all working, let's say 3 of us are working and my money is money every month, as I'm working maybe earning more, I'm not saying me in the first thingy, like in a literal form, but like figuratively so. If I earn more, I can contribute just a little bit more, but it doesn't mean I must do it on my own. Even the other people must also, lend a helping hand. There's nothing wrong with that.
So now the mistake that happens in our households nowadays is that people tend to have kind of what can I say? For it as if though it's obvious to them that because this person earns more, this means that they can afford everything. I think that is what they get it wrong. That's a wrong
mentality, guys. To be honest, I think it's a wrong mentality, and that's actually what starts or triggers most of the fights in families. Because now, it brings me to this other story. We've got what we call the South African calendar in SA. SA is a very interesting country. So we've got a January calendar. February, what happened? For example, in January, there's this guy, He didn't build a house at home. He's got like a bakkie and a caravan. So he hooks his caravan onto his bakkie, goes home. He's got everything in his caravan. He's got a bed, he's got a microwave, he's got everything. I don't know about a toilet or whatever.
Yeah.
Or where he baths and everything. So when they piss him off, just hooks his caravan in a bag and then drives off. That guy is a legend. I love that guy. So that's what causes such things. I mean, if you piss people off to that point, they will resort to such things like of not being involved in anything because now you are abusing their kindness, you know. As much as somebody is kind, you must respect their kindness.
True.
Just because I'm kind and I'm a giver, now you're abusing my giving powers or ability. That's actually wrong.
It's very wrong.
Morally wrong.
Very wrong. Hear this perspective. He says, fixing your mom's house is not black tax. It's insurance for you in case life doesn't go according to plan and you have to move back home.
I also don't agree with that statement. Yeah, I did fix my mom's house at some point. Again, this is not about me really, but I'm just referencing some of my personal experiences because I mean, this is really personal. If we're not talking about our personal experiences, it means we are kind of like fake.
Yeah.
We are portraying a fake image about ourselves. I did fix my mom's house and expect nothing in return. But, okay, when you're single, you don't have a wife and a kid, I think it's okay to stay in your mom's house or go back home and stuff like that. But I feel like when it gets to a point where now you've got kids and a wife, I don't think it's a bad idea to get your own place. Even at home, back at home. You can build a house back at home in your own stand.
True.
Because now, say God forbid, God takes you first before your mom. You mean your wife and kid are gonna stay with your mom forever? That's actually not fair, you know? You
It's
see?
not.
So if you found them a place where you built your own house, even if God forbid God takes you first, they can stay there and then they've got a place called home.
Their own home.
Yeah, because now at my mother's house it's not Lulu's home, it's her grandmother's home. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like as a man, hate me or not guys, woman stand. Yeah, like one of my stand and one on share and one on share. Eh, says it because there woman stand.
Why do I feel like that?
Yeah. I go understand, gents. No, but I feel like there's nothing wrong with fixing mom's home. I spent a lot of money fixing my mom's home, and I'm still gonna do more work in my mom's home. But at some point, I'm gonna have to build my own stand because now I've got a wife, I've got a kid. I can't be call my mother's place my
Your
my.
own
You
house,
understand?
yeah.
I need to find them a place where they can call home.
True.
So that one, I partly agree with it. But this thing of when things go bad, you need to go back to your mother's house. Imagine as a 45-year-old going back to my mother's house
Doesn't
with
sound great.
a wife and 3 kids. What is that?
Damn.
And then my
Doesn't
brother's
sound
also there with his wife and kids.
So now you become a family of 30.
Yo. How do we now? It also causes a lot of unnecessary fights which shouldn't be there. Now who's gonna cook? My wife or my brother's wife or my mom? You understand? That's where conflict starts. Like you
And
actually.
automatically in a space like that, conflicts are just inevitable. You can't dodge them. They're bound to happen.
But now some I think can be avoided. Some conflicts can be avoided. I mean, we can't be debating on whether my wife must cook or my brother's wife must cook if I'm staying in my own stand in my own home. You know, like this thing of us staying apart and visiting each other, I think it makes us even connect better. But this thing of staying in the same place, guys, that's a bad idea.
Every
guys.
morning, every face is on your face.
You end up fighting over very small things which you shouldn't be fighting over. So then there's this whole thing of hey, if you're a last born, you shouldn't look for a stand. That's already your home. Bullshit. That's bullshit, guys. Forgive me if you get offended, but that's bullshit. If you feel like you want to look for your own stand, even if you're a last born at home as a guy,
Go
fuck
ahead.
it, go look for your own stand. Yeah, you can always look after that house. If parents do sadly pass away, you can still look after that house, but you don't have to stay there. You understand? So I think this whole black culture actually it kind of like fucked up. To a degree, I agree with it, but sometimes I just feel like it's bullshit.
So do you think there are still families that believes that if there's a last born, it automatically says that the last born owns the house? Do you think it's still
A lot.
exists?
And this actually happened to me before my dad passed away back then. He was actually encouraging me not to look for a stand because I should take over my family house. At some point, I was agreeing with the situation, but it got to a point I was like, nah, this won't work. this won't work for me. Unfortunately, I decided this when he had passed away already. But if he was still around, I was gonna sit him down and be like, Papa, I don't think this whole thing is gonna work for the following reasons: one, two, two, and three. Yeah, because I mean, I feel you need to have some sense of ownership as a man. For example, if I wanna erect a new structure in my father's land while he's still alive, I can't do that. I need to go ask for permission from who?
From him.
But if I'm in my own stand, I can literally do whatever I want. Even if I wanna demolish the whole house and start it from scratch, I can literally do that. So I just feel like most guys don't get this, but it's actually necessary, guys. I don't know. I wanted to give like a practical example, but I'm still thinking of one. As I think of one, you can go. You wanted to say something? Sorry.
But why did he ask you? Why do you think he asked you instead of the last one? Because you're not the last one.
He said the last born is too young to take responsibility, but at some point it was gonna grow, right? Which is already growing. Now it's growing some balls. Yeah, now it's gonna have a. Now we're gonna start. It's gonna start arguing with me. Mangle bag and I old bag.
But he doesn't strike to me as that kind of person. Do you think he would do that?
You never know. Those kids of today. Number 2000. You never know.
Hey, ungangifaki lapho.
You were
Just a
almost
little
the 2000. Almost. Yeah, but no, it doesn't, because I mean, to me, I'm his deputy dad, so he can't do that to me. I would fuck him up. When I say I'll fuck you up. No, but he can't do that to me. But I just feel like it's not right, man. Like it's not a good practice, if I can say it that way. That's my mom's home right now, because I mean, she stays there. Whatever I do there, I do it knowing that one day I'm gonna leave her, go find my own place. But I want to make sure that she's comfortable before I leave that place. I'm not doing it to benefit from that, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So
But I know something that also confuses people in families is the fact that, say I find a job now, and then, for example, let's say I earn 12,000. Obviously in that 12,000 you're gonna see some changes from me. You know what I mean? Like obviously
maybe you're gonna start dressing differently.
Maybe I'm gonna get a proper bachelor. You know.
Okay, in essence, the lifestyle is gonna change. Yeah.
So now, when the lifestyle changes, obviously the family will start having their own assumptions
and expectations.
Because they don't know the amount that I'm earning. Because if you check, 12,000 is just a decent amount for an individual. Also, like for an individual, but not for starters. Let me say that
it's okay. It's a good starting salary.
Yeah, it's a good starting salary.
But it's not a lot, guys.
It's not a lot. But because, like you said, this lifestyle is going to change. Family's gonna start assuming, no, maybe this person earns 20, 30. You know, they're not gonna know, especially if you're a female. So I think that's also something that confuses families, also with the expectations that they develop in the process.
So, okay, cool. Do you think you owe your family an explanation in terms of how much you make or how much you earn at work? Whether you find a job or an internship or whatever. Do you need to tell your mom how much you're making, or your family? Like, do they deserve to know or not really?
Hell no. I'm not gonna do that.
Should I tell my wife how much I'm earning?
Yeah, your wife, yes. I think you don't have to, but if you have that transparency culture, then yes, you can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but for family members, no, I really don't think so.
You know what family members do when you tell them how much you're earning? Now they start calculating. Okay, he's earning 25, ne?
Yeah,
oh,
so
he
he
drives
pays
a
the
Polo.
bond.
5,000 Polo.
He pays the bond.
The bond, 6,000. And I'm sure when he paid everything, he's left with about 9,000. From that 9,000, he owes me 2,000. You understand? People can actually start like making plans on your salary.
And squeezing them in your salary.
What the actual fuck, guys? Why do you guys do that? Let us know in the comment section. Why do people do that? You can't be calculating somebody's salary and like, they owe me this much from their salary. Nah, guys, that's fucked up. You know, like sometimes, nah. Sometimes, okay, I'll take it back to my personal experience. Sometimes it boils down to sacrifices. I remember at some point my dad would get paid every month, but sometimes he would go for like months, maybe close to 6 months, without buying himself a simple shirt or a t-shirt in J, but looking after us. And there are people that are doing black tax, someone who's looking after the family and stuff like that, they can't even afford to buy themselves a simple trouser, a pair of whatever, pair of shoes or whatever. Like it's so painful.
Like that's torture. You're basically torturing yourself. Why do that when you're working?
No, the families are putting pressure. Hey, now come to think of it, right? There's this sad story I read on Twitter as well. I'm not sure if I can find it, nah? Some parents are toxic, guys. So it's actually a lady, nah? She's working and she's taking care of her home. She was complaining that she hasn't bought herself anything in months, and she's putting her sister's kids through school, and she's sending her mother money. And then this other time, she got admitted into hospital for like 2 weeks. When she got admitted, no one came to visit her when she was in hospital. And then come month end, mom sends a message. Like, what the fuck? No, that's actually like another level of like cruelty, if you can understand. So, guys, as much as we love our parents, but parents can be toxic as well. That's why I said, train these people how to
how you want them
to level with you.
Yes.
Yeah, they can't be asking more than what you can afford. If I can afford to give you $1,000, why are you asking for 2K now? Where am I getting the extra 1,000 rand?
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. Hey, you are die.
Yeah,
Yo,
you see,
that's bad.
who do you think is more toxic between parents? Let's say it's mom and dad. They're both alive. Who do you think is actually more demanding when it comes to black text between mom and dad?
I think it happens more with mothers, because now mothers and their children get to in most cases they have a level of friendship, like they're kind of comfortable talking about a lot of things than dad. So I think mothers tends to go over the board. Mothers can do that.
Do you think they have a sense of entitlement somehow?
It depends. Some mothers, yes. I also know one this other person, not my friend, I think it's just a ex-classmate or something. So that person was unfortunately they happened to be part of an accident, a critical one. So they applied for
Car accident, that is.
Yes,
Yeah.
a car accident. So they went on and applied for this rough monies, and then after that they received the money.
How much was it, if I may ask?
I'm not sure,
but it was a couple of millions. No?
Yeah, the hearsay was that that person had received almost 3 million rands.
That's not too bad. I could use a 3 million right now.
So back at home, once maybe an event happens and maybe three stands away, there tends to be some sort of hearsays and things like that. So the hearsay was that the mother was actually contesting with the court to say the money must be sent into her own account.
Why?
I don't know.
Was she the one who was injured?
No, the son was injured.
Was he not mentally stable to be able to manage the money?
No more 100% person, and he was like kind of 20 or 21, I don't know. But I believe he was old enough to have
manage his own money. So fast forward, what happened to the money?
Obviously, the mother couldn't receive it because the law and whatnot.
But did he spend it wisely? Because I mean, I've seen a couple of people on I blew it when they confess about how they blew their rough money or lottery money or whatever winnings they had, like these lump sums that people normally receive.
I don't know now, because I think he later on moved somewhere, I don't know, but during that year you could see that things are really good. I don't know where he ended up, but it seems like he moved and went elsewhere.
Coming to that, I saw something that actually just picked my brain right now. Do you believe in luck?
No.
Okay. What do you believe in? Being blessed?
Fate.
Fate.
Yes.
So I came across a video on TikTok during the week now. This guy who blew 8.1 million. I don't know in how many months, but this guy was fucking lucky if you ask me. He won the lottery the first time. He won like 7 million. 3 months later, he played quick pick. He won 1.1 million. He blew all that money. But what I like about him is the fact that he built 3 houses.
Yeah,
he
that's
built,
good.
His mother a house. He built his own house and he built another house. I don't know for who. But the fact that they managed to build houses, and those houses they built them for around R1 million each.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
then the blue money on cars, he loved cars just like me. I love cars, by the way. I don't blow as much because I don't have it. But he built like 3 houses, one for the mother, one for himself, and one for someone else. I can't remember.
What?
But the amount of luck, I mean, winning the lottery twice, like 7 million the first time and then 1.1 million, like, yo.
Oh.
That's why I was asking, do you believe in luck now?
No, I don't. Do you believe in luck?
No, I believe in blessings.
Right.
I believe in being blessed. I don't think anything happens by accident. If God wants you to be in a certain place at a time, before you were born and before I was born, this might sound like a mind fuck, but he knew that on a Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon rather, because now it's 20 past 1, on a Sunday afternoon on the 22nd of October, you and I would be sitting here shooting this fucking podcast.
Yeah,
God knew that.
Yeah, I think that goes hand in hand with fate.
With fate.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, fate is where you are basically destined to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I also I feel like God has a purpose in our lives. We're gonna have a topic one day. We'll talk about Christianity and spirituality and the higher power and all of that, because not everyone believes in God.
Well, that's gonna be a very controversial one. Hey, religion.
We're gonna
Tricky.
religion is just like politics.
Yeah.
It's like when you get where there's like white people and then you start talking about the EFF, and when
Yeah.
you get where there's black people and then you start talking about the DA,
Yes.
and where you get where there's everybody and you start talking about the ANC,
ANC.
and then you offend everybody. They always say like the DA doesn't give a fuck about the poor.
Yeah.
They only give a fuck about the rich.
The rich.
And then the EFF doesn't give a fuck about the rich, only the poor. And then the ANC, on the other hand, doesn't give a fuck about anyone.
Anyone.
Like, fuck everybody. So, yeah, I feel like, there's no, like, luck. I don't know, luck, man. It's a term that exists, but I don't believe in luck.
Same
And for me,
here.
believe is
I really
it's
don't
a
believe
big
there's
thing
luck.
for me, believe, because there's this philosophy that I have, right? It works for me. I'm going to teach you a thing or two today. Sorry, we're digressing from the original black text topic, but this also kind of like it is related. There's this mentality that I've built to, okay, not to brag or anything, right? Anything that I am in right now, the life that I'm currently living, I've imagined this life before it happened. For example, the car I drive, the kind of wife I have. I remember before my daughter was born, a year before she was born, in December 2020. I think I was drunk. And then I was like, I wish I could have someone called, I wish I could have someone I could call my daughter. This was December 2020. A year before my daughter was born. A year later, I had my daughter.
Talk about manifestation.
Exactly. So I've learned to speak things into existence. The more you speak about it, the more it manifests, right? I've said that one day I wanna live in a quiet place, out of gas and stuff like that, and you manifest over that. Anything, even a job. I wanna work in the financial services space. You work your way up, you get into that. I think if people can learn, it won't work for everybody, but it works for me. But I think that's what keeps me going. And then there's this thing about me, right? The amount of faith that I have in anything, it's scary. Because even if things could be going wrong, like all sides, no money, nothing, but there's this other guy, this voice in my head that's like, you know what, things will be fine. How? I don't know, but things will be fine. What keeps you going then?
I really wish I could have that, like that kind of, what can I say? What can I call it? That kind of intuition in me. I don't know. Probably because
intuition is cool, guys. Intuition. Yeah.
I think it's probably, but for me now, you know why? I think it's because I've been rejected a number of times. There was this one point where I was like, you know what? I'm taking a break from job hunting. because it was really draining. And I remember posting a status. That's where you replied to the status and said, you know what, I'm thinking of starting something with websites and things like that. You remember?
I remember that, like, clearly. So I mean, I don't forget the stuff like that, especially like heart to heart kind of conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that. I think from that point I was like really tired. You know, when you invest your time, your emotions, your money, your last money for that matter, into things, and then like and nothing happens.
Yeah, that sucks.
And also during that time I remember, because also from coming out of matric, right, I applied like nobody's business, right? Every year I would apply wherever I want. Could be at that possible time. I would apply, research. If they say applications are opening on the 1st of April, I would wait for that date, and around 1-2 a.m. and I was
start applying. You were probably the first, one of the first few applicants.
People. And then when times for processing applications arise, every year you kind of receive rejections. Unfortunately, you're not accepted and not because you don't qualify, but because of space. For me, that's been the case every single year. I think for like 4 good years. Can you imagine how emotionally that draining that's it wrecks your mentality, your it was
but tell
just
me,
really bad.
During this time, what kept you going? There must be that one thing that kept you going.
You know, during that time, I was in Joburg. I was staying in Honeydew, ne?
Yeah.
So most of the time, I would choose to go shop at Campus Square, right?
In Auckland Park.
Yeah.
I know Campus Square very well. The student area there next to UJ Kingsway
so
campus.
You find that maybe I just need a number of things, maybe cooking oil,
But
bread.
you had money to shop. Where were you getting the money at the time?
No, I was under people.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was under people.
I mean, you could still afford to shop, and you were jobless. Yeah, your jobless was nice, means.
No, sometimes I was being sent. You know, sometimes I would get money.
But from Honeydew to Campus Square, is that not like a little bit too far?
It's a little bit too far, but the thing is,
what are you using? Texas Uber?
Yeah, Texas Uber. That time, Uber.
What's wrong with Uber?
It was very far from me. Not very far, but like I had to count options. You know what I mean?
But you ended to catch like one taxi to get to Campus Square.
So the thing is, the people who were staying in that area, they would rather go to Cresta or
Cresta and Rheinberg. Yeah,
yes.
Along Bearsnodie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or there was this one small shopping center around Honeydew. I didn't like it, and then
What, Felons?
I think so.
No, it can't be Felons. Felons is also not far from Cresta. But anyway, as you were, sorry.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do a proper shopping, you'd rather go to Cresta or straight to Joburg.
Who goes to Joburg CBD for shopping?
No, not maybe CBD, or maybe
Kilani.
Maybe Kilani or Newtown Junction, you know, things like that, or Carlton Center, wherever.
Oh yeah.
So I would go to buy my stuff and then go sit somewhere maybe where I could see them. Also, besides the Campus Square, it's also still there now. There's this nice residence there. Like I would fantasize there, you know, like maybe stay there for like 2 hours. Sometimes go like near the entrance of the actual university and be like, one day I'm gonna enroll here.
Wow.
Yeah, like that kept me going. I had this thing where like universities used to like excite me for some weird reasons.
The campus life, basically.
Exactly. You know?
I imagine. I worked in a student accommodation company at some point. I was virtually working with student. My sister had first-hand experience with the student because she was at the rest at some point. But the things that happens at universities, someone once said on Twitter that if you could see what graduates get up to in university, you would actually wouldn't wish to marry a graduate, because girls in varsity, they do some weird shit.
Yeah. That takes me back. I think sometime last week I was coming from town. I was in a cab, so I was sitting to this other security dad. I know the boy is a dad, I think. Guy, yeah. So
for the sake of the podcast, let's call him a guy.
Because I don't know him anyway. So he was like, so there were like students everywhere. Like there were just students everywhere. Some were drinking, some were just crossing, not watching robots. Like it was just a mess. So he was like, I'm a security at the TUT main campus. If
Yeah,
you
in
see
Pretoria
what
West.
yes,
Yeah.
he was like, if you see what happens there on Friday, no, actually Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday,
Weekends and varsity start on
Sundays.
Thursday, eh? Like it's a 4-day weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like that 4 days is hectic, guys.
He was like, if you see what happens there, he was like, old men with big cars go park there and pick
X5s.
students. Yeah, he was like, you would be surprised. Big cars, big machines pack there to fetch, and sometimes it's not their fathers. You can just like you can tell if someone it's their father picking her up, but it was like that environment is just messed up. I was like, wow.
So,
wow.
but I think even the girls are actually fueling this whole behavior. But if girls were holding back, this wouldn't happen.
True.
And this brings me back to poverty. I think things like prostitution, fair, but not fair, just like fabbing,
It starts there.
and crime, it's all a result of unemployment and poverty. Let me tell you something, guys. In Zulu, there's a saying about indlala ibangulaga, meaning that hunger causes violence somehow. Even me, if I was unemployed, I would look for means to get money. And sometimes
Obviously.
to get money, you need to rob somebody. You need to go maybe take out your okapi or your gun, try to swindle.
But honestly, would you do that? Or
Do I
you
look like? I don't even look like half a criminal, guys. I might be a
if I
cyber
met
criminal.
You, if I met you and maybe you tell me, bring that for, now just
You would
look
laugh at me.
you and walk off.
What if I had a gun?
Maybe maybe a gun would intimidate me, but just like with nothing.
You want a little phone. Little phone. Yeah. So guys, I mean, like that's I think okay. Imagine if everyone was employed. I'm not saying like high earning jobs, but let's say they had basic employment with a decent income. Who would steal from one another? I mean, that would be great then. It would regard it as great. But if I don't have, okay, let's say, that's why I always say this. I'm going to come to this, right? In this state of ours, I believe everyone here has a job. It's probably if it's a household, either the husband, like in my house, I'm the only one working, but I take care of the whole family. In some households, mama and papa is working. They've got a balanced salary. So let's take it back to Ekas again. You find a household in a 4-room house. No one is working, or maybe one person is working. What are the other 3 doing during the day? That's why if you go to a class during the day, it's always busy for no reason. If you drive into this estate, during the day it's quiet.
Yeah.
You won't see anyone walking on anywhere on the streets. That's what it brings me to. If in the household there's a single person that's bringing income, that household is actually, how do you call this? Like that person is actually overburdened because now, as let's say they're not even earning. Let's say it's a mama, she's working in a factory. She's got 2 daughters. The daughter has 2 kids. The fathers ran away. The son is a nyaupe guy. Mama earns maybe, if she's lucky, she's earning 6,000 take home. She brings home that 6,000. Luckily, ECAS, they don't pay for rates and taxes and stuff like that. But mama, out of that 6,000, she still has to take herself to work. Mama can hardly spoil herself from that 6,000. And this other fucking thingy breasts are ungrateful. Now the one with 2 daughters, she expects mama to take care of her and her daughters. You see, it works both ways, no?
Yeah.
You see, initially we were talking about kids supporting parents, but now mama has to look after these ungrateful kids that actually brought extra burdens. But now the fathers are nowhere to be found. Like, whose fault is that now?
The kids' fault. Because in the contrary, if the mother was not working and one of the children maybe was working, it was gonna be titled as black tax. But now because
mama is doing it,
it's
labeled as responsibility.
Responsibility.
You know, with white people, right? White people are very blatant and frank about this. Whether you're working or not, what white people will do when you reach the age of 21, they look for a cottage for you. They'll fund you for a couple of months, but within those couple of months, you need to get your shit together. Otherwise, they're out of your life.
Yeah.
So, now, okay, guys, this might actually touch a couple of people, but I don't understand. How can you be 40 and still depending on your mother? to buy you toothpaste, to buy you soap, to buy what the fuck? I mean,
I also
no,
don't get
it's
it.
not like I don't think it's a good practice.
I also don't get it because if you look at it, let's say if actually it's even worse for. It's not even about gender if you're a male or female. The fact that you're getting old and you're still under your parents is just, hey, it's just messed up.
Do you have the same feeling? Are you still depending on your parents at the moment?
No.
Do you have a job?
Yeah.
Ganala. Ka. Why are you laughing? For the sake of the podcast, cheers a job, guys.
Guys, how would you feel if your boss came to your face and asked you, "Are you working?"
I thought we were just having fun here, guys. So yeah, it's actually very depressing because in my case, I think I was blessed enough to start working very early. I think by the age of 20, 21, I had a job. I wasn't earning much at the time, but from the small that I was earning, I was able to take up a little bit and give my mom. It was not black tax. I didn't take it as black tax. Even now, I look after my mom, but I don't take it as black tax. It's looking after my family. What I've put my foot down on is not to be abused. If I give my mom money today when I get paid, she can't come back 2 weeks later and be like, "We don't have ing." That's not my problem.
You've done
Yeah,
your
figure
part.
it out.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, mom. I don't know, but no, like I feel like it's being abusive because you must remember now. Like I said, when you now become a man and you decide to have a wife and stuff like that, they might end up hating your wife, thinking that she's the one influencing you because before then you used to
Like
dance to their tune. And then now that you have a wife, they think it's the wife that's saying it. But I mean, okay, 2 years ago I didn't have a baby. I didn't have to buy diapers and milk and all that shit. But now I have to buy. My daughter can't do without milk, and then mama is asking for 500. If I have my last 500 and my daughter doesn't have milk, what do I do? My daughter takes preference. Mama can wait. Because we've already dealt with my mom and then, right? She must make a plan. She's very dull. You see, as dull as she is, she can make a plan. Yeah, so I feel like you need to prioritize, guys. I always say the family that you built matters than the family that you came from.
True.
If you hate me for that, fuck you. But
true.
I believe that your family that you built, your immediate family, your wife and kid, matters more than mama at home. Not saying that mama doesn't matter at all, but if you had to choose one, your immediate one.
And they forget that the financial dynamics automatically change because remember, if you are alone, like your financial plans are very flexible. You can choose not to buy a 5K grocery, you know.
Yeah, you can just buy eggs and I would say eggs are expensive now, right, guys? Have you seen the price of eggs? Yeah, like back then before the eggs got crazy, you buy eggs, acha, and 5 kg of minimum, and then you would survive the whole month as a guy.
Especially for a guy, like food.
Mostly you will eat on the streets.
Yeah.
So, but now groceries are expensive, guys. You know, like I don't know how we got here. I remember at some point, if groceries went over 2K, it was too much. Now for 2K, you can't even get the basics.
I remember also when I was staying with my grandma, we used to like, if you remember the super spa in Gianni there by.
No super spa, just the next to the Zanin taxi rank.
Yes, we should. No,
which super spa?
That one is the spa.
Oh, that's the super spa. Masangita Mall.
Yes.
Oh, I know that one.
We used to shop there. Like, we used to fill a whole huge trolley with like 2-point-something K, if I remember. Now with 2K is like...
you get nothing. You can't even fill my Picanto boot with 2K. You know, like a Picanto boot can only fit a cooler box, guys. Né? So in that small Picanto boot, you can't fit 2K. Two groceries can't fill that space. Nah, man, like life has just gotten expensive. But coming to this, né, I want to leave you with a little bit of advice. We're almost heading towards the end. We do have the time. We still have about 5 to 10 minutes that we can still do this. We still have a little bit of announcements to do and some promotions and the goodbyes. We have a checklist, guys. We're getting proper at this thing, eh? You see, we're looking at the levels, guys. You see, getting the equipment and stuff. So I was saying that I personally, we sometimes overuse the word literally, but I personally don't believe in downgrading the lifestyle. You know why? For example, now, we're used to living this lifestyle. We'll buy X amount of groceries. We've got 2 cars. Um, my baby is this, is that. I don't believe in downgrading that. If I sell 1 car and then I didn't solve a problem, we still have a problem of mobility in the family, because when I'm not around, Mama Lulu can move around and stuff like that. I believe in making more money to compensate for what's up. Let's say lifestyle before, you were buying the groceries that you buy used to cost 5K 2 years ago, and now those groceries cost 7K. Find a way to make that extra 2K. How? I don't know, guys. If you want to do crime, it's up to you. Do crime, Tlanga Betway, Hollywood beds, it's up to you. But find a way to make that extra income, because
Yes.
downgrading of lifestyle will come with a lot of depression.
A huge one.
Imagine me like if I decide to sell the mauve and just be a Johnny Walker. I won't even be happy.
Depressing. Downgrading.
Yeah, I feel like some things, as much as people can say materialistic things don't matter, hey guys, they matter.
Does.
When I'm driving my car, the confidence that I have when I'm driving my car, guys, it's uncomparable. Yeah, so I don't believe in downgrading lifestyle. Just make more money. If there's a way, I mean, use your skills. If you've got skills, let's say I can build websites. Build websites for people. They give you 5,000 a month. You add on to that extra that you are not making. You've got a 5,000 extra now. Market your business. Start a podcast or something. I mean, it's up to you. Like, or if you can bake some scones, sell to them. People.
Yeah.
Sell from the boot of your car. Sell arch. I mean, arch is everywhere, and people want arch and stuff like that. I just don't believe in downgrading of lifestyle.
Downgrading definitely comes with depression, always.
Yeah, and people always say, "Hi, I don't care what people think." Guys, to me, opinions matter. Yeah, as much as they matter on the negative side, on the positive side as well. I mean, there's a level of respect that you maintain in society, and now when people that look up to you and see you being not an example anymore, it's actually, what is this, demotivating to them, because the guy that I used to look up to, like when I pull up in my car, people call me Grootman. So imagine me pulling up as Johnny. Oh, the Grootman, really useless.
What happened, Grootman?
But no, for the record, I do drink good.
Yeah.
There's no shame in drinking a good.
It's alcohol at the end of the day.
That's all I bomb, guys. So I content and I bomb. So yeah, anyway, I think we've gotten to a point. Anything else, sorry, before we wrap up?
No, what did I want to read? Please check here. I think I forgot to read one last thing.
Yeah, in terms of black text. We're still on the black text topic, by the way, just that there's a lot of things that come with black text.
Yeah.
But guys, I always emphasize on hustling. We didn't get here by just fucking around. We hustle, like day or night. We don't sleep, right?
True.
I'll see Tisa sometimes posting like stuff on the job portal at 3 a.m. I'm like, this girl doesn't sleep, eh? Yeah, it's all about we chased like this money from all ends. Want it from YouTube, from Google, everywhere, from whatever. So whatever you can do to make yourself money, please do it.
Do it, yes. So I wanted to share this.
It's a lengthy one, eh?
No.
But yeah, read it.
They're kind of like two
paragraphs.
Two stories. So I'm gonna read this one.
Yeah.
So the person in question here is no. Let me check.
Ntando.
No, actually, it's one thing. Okay,
let me start. So it's quite long.
Yeah, let me start from the beginning. So it says Lucy, 27 years of age, an electrical technologist earning 560,000 a year, shares his salary with her grandmother and cousins. There is a great deal of anxiety that goes hand in hand with the responsibility to support your extended family while at the same time building your career and trying to achieve your financial goals, says Busi. While she accepts the responsibility of helping to care for her family, it can be overwhelming.
True, I agree.
Yeah.
It can be.
Very overwhelming. The irony is that my own financial success is essentially on hold because of my financial responsibilities.
Fuck.
Ntando, like Busi, I'm sure Ntando is part of a family, shares his income with his family, his mother and father and younger sister. In his early 30s, he works in an art curating position at a top gallery, making 280,000 a year, when he is not traveling for work, Ntando lives at home with his family. He says he has not considered moving out as that would mean a significant cut from the money he uses to support them. So in quotes, he says, I spend a large part of my income on my family and the rest I put back into my art. I think that investing in my family means future financial success for both them and me. What do you think?
Sure. Quite a tough one. It needs a lot of unpacking. But I also, what I would empower as well, as much as, is going through that. I think, for example, if my little brother or sister is in school and they need to finish, if I've helped them get through school and fund them, I'm actually solving a problem. Because the moment they finish school, they'll be able to stand on their own.
Yes.
I can't. That's a temporary problem. They won't be in school forever, right? You can help out where you can, but yeah, it's a bit of a tough one.
Yeah,
And
it
now
is tough.
it brings me to the Zamokutla situation on Skim Sam.
Yes, the storyline is really important, hey?
Yeah, that storyline. Now the
Yo,
mother's now he can't pay
demanding.
Lobola. Now he wants to pay Lobola. Mama doesn't want him to pay Lobola because he needs to finish the double story. When he says he wants to send 40K, he's like, what the fuck?
Fuck, it's too much.
And he was like, this is a doctor, mama.
Yeah.
And then she was like, so what? No, so but guys, that's what you. But I like how Zamokutla stands up for himself at times. Like,
yes.
Mama, you have been too much. My one. So yeah, guys, this is a very lengthy topic. We can actually go for hours and hours.
Yeah, it's
we
really
want
broad.
to keep it not too long, but short. And if there's a need, let us know in the comment section if we should actually revisit this topic sometime. But yeah, I do have a couple of announcements to make. You are you okay on your side?
Yeah, I'm okay. And I also wanted to add that you can also share anonymously if you want to share some of your experiences based on the topic that we have. Like we said earlier, that you can send them to the comment section if you feel like, or to the WhatsApp that's coming up, right?
Yeah, next week we'll announce the WhatsApp line. I just need to verify the number because now, hey, it's not make sure. I don't want to lie to you guys and say, hey, this is the number and it's not the right one.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna give you the WhatsApp line next week so that you can share your stuff. So, in terms of comments, just to put it out there, I'm actually very big when it comes to supporting local brands. This here that I'm wearing is called the Prey. It's a brand by a friend of mine, Kolani. It's a Godfidence brand. I started supporting this brand back in 2021, as much as I can remember. Or 2020, actually. My first. Was it 2020? Guys, I can't remember, but it's been too long. And this one here, Utaki. Yeah, Utaki original. You might have seen this some on Instagram. It's a brand by a friend of mine as well, a very good friend of mine. His name is Monge Simasombuga. I support him a lot. I've got more
You can
merchandise.
tilt this a little bit. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up.
I hope you can see it. Utaki, guys.
Yeah.
Utaki. Yeah, so I support a lot of local. I'll try to promote as much local as I can on this platform. If you've got local brands, bring them through. And by the way, I don't get given these things. I buy. So
that's nice.
yeah, and I promote these brands for free. These guys are not paying me fuck all. But because I love them, I'm gonna promote it. I'm gonna wear as much local as I can. There's also another one by Kamukau Fella Hacked. I wear a lot of Hacked as well. So yeah, if you've got some local brands you'd like to promote, don't give it to me for free. Come to me, I'll buy and then I'll promote it on the platform, and then I wanna see you grow, man. And then we can also have you as a guest on the podcast. I think soon we're also gonna be inviting guests, which will get more interesting. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait for that.
And then yeah.
And also, if you're looking for jobs, there's a website that I'm working for. That's Ultimate Jobs SA. So if you're looking for jobs, just go online and type www.ultimatejobssa.com, and we have pages on our social medias. Boom, boom, boom. We also have pages on social medias. That is Facebook, it's Ultimate Jobs SA. On Twitter, it's at Ultimate Jobs SA. TikTok, Ultimate Jobs SA. Basically everywhere, it's Ultimate Jobs SA.
Also on
even
LinkedIn
on
as well.
LinkedIn. Yeah. So if you're looking for that, we got you.
Yeah, hit us up. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what we had for the day. Let me just check my checklist here if there's anything. I think yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up? Because we're about to say our goodbyes to our beautiful audience.
No, pretty much. I think we've covered pretty much everything that we wanted to talk about. Yep.
Anyway, guys, if anything is on your mind, comment section, and then what we'll do is that we'll announce the WhatsApp line next week. But let's keep it going, and hopefully one day, if God permits, we'll find some nice studios where we can be go back wild.
Yes.
And then, yeah, without any interferences. Thank God my daughter didn't come to the
For the
sliding door
first
today
time
to shower.
ever.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the mom kept her on a leash. I don't know. Something. She must have done something.
And also remember to like, comment,
Subscribe.
share, and subscribe.
Yeah, share with your friends and enemies.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah,
Share.
just confuse the shit out of them. Cheers, guys.